Question 6. Has there come a time when I've had disagreement with principal? Two things come to mind. The first was at Lincoln. Our school was having a lot of difficulty making its AYP. And of course they're a failing school, difficult situations. The population is English second language, a lot of them with many difficulties, home problems and such. And so our principal came up with a kind of a scheme. He wanted us to sit down in data groups and try and identify the 10 or 12 students that were on the borderline, say between partially proficient and proficient, or between proficient and advanced. And then he wanted us to take and spend extra time, put extra resources in to those students to see if we could push them across the line and thus make our statistics look better. I'm very sympathetic to this idea. I know that the very existence of a school, the funding with No Child Left Behind, makes getting good scores on your CSAP, the Colorado Student Assessment Program, is important. But I felt that this was wrong, that every student should have the same claim on resources and teachers' time as any other, that we should not be about the business of picking winners and discarding losers. So I am a team player, so I went ahead and I identified my students that were on the borderline, but then I refused to just offer extra help to them. I increased my time to any student that wished more of my time or more of our resources. Turns out the question was probably moot. It's the same thing, you know, when you do parent-teacher conferences, you usually find that the students whose parents really need to show up don't, and the students whose parents really don't so much need to show up are the ones who do show up. And the same thing happened. Although resources were offered, most students did not take advantage of it, and my grades didn't seem to make any difference with anyone else's. The other problem, once before the CSAP test, the assistant principal who was supervising my supervisor discovered from looking at the test that our students had not gotten around to all of the topics that were going to be covered. And his solution to that was he handed us out a copy of the test and told us to teach to the test. Now, I've always been opposed to teaching to the test. When I hired in at Lincoln, I expressed this. The principal agreed with me that if you teach the course properly, the test will take care of itself. So my answer was I just continued to review and teach as I would have had I not known about the test. And in the end, my grades and everyone else's grades, there really wasn't much difference in scores. This came back to haunt this particular teacher. He went on to become principal of another school, and he had to resign over the fact that he was allowing students to use the internet to cheat on their credit recovery so that he could boost his graduation rates. Again, I'm sympathetic to the pressure, but I still think that you have to treat every student equally. Thank you so much.